#1 in the Arklatex, broadcasting live in high definition with coverage you can count on. This is KSLA News 12 at 10.
It's something most of us parents can't imagine. One of your children taken without your permission.
It's not fair. It's so many red flags.
And even worse, you can't get your baby back.
I'm never giving up.
Tonight, we investigate this mother's fight. Hey, good evening. I'm Doug Warner.
And I'm Dominic Ben. Melissa Robinson's daughter was taken 2 years ago from her school by a couple not at all related to her.
And despite countless court hearings and hundreds of pages of paperwork, this mother has not been able to get her daughter back. But she's on a mission to change that. KSLA News 12's Troy Washington investigates a mother's fight.
How do I be calm about a situation like this? You don't be calm.
This Shreveport mom and her little girl, 9-year-old Jualissa, are caught in the middle of an unusual custody fight. It's a complicated legal battle, a paper trail of court documents ping-ponging between courtrooms in Caddo Parish in Dallas County, Texas, for more than 2 years.
I'm at my breaking point. I'm breaking now. I'm breaking now. I was broken when they started taking it. Now I'm just like a bunch of shattered pieces.
Broken because Melissa Robinson says, "I love you." When she arrived to pick up her 6-year-old daughter, Jualissa, from Southern Hills Elementary School on April 9, 2013, she was gone.
My heart is beating. Because right now I don't know who has my child.
Robinson says Caddo Parish School Board told her the girl left with a couple from Dallas, Texas. A man and woman who Robinson says are not related to Jualissa at all. This mom is adamant, believing her daughter was kidnapped.
And here it is, I have a daughter that's missing and we know what she is.
Melissa says school administrators told her the couple had paperwork alleging Jualissa's parents released the girl and turned over custody to them.
I am mom to this baby.
That's Desiree Lewis, the woman who admits taking Jualissa out of school that day. We traveled to Texas where she and Jualissa now live. Melissa admits she has past acquaintances with Desiree through Jualissa's father. But here's where the fight over this little girl gets into a tangled web of confusion. Desiree says she has all the guardianship paperwork granting her custody of Jualissa, but our KSLA News 12 investigation found the signed notary seal on Desiree's documents was stolen. Paperwork a Texas judge signed off on. Desiree told us she had no idea the person who notarized her paperwork did so with a stolen stamp.
I didn't steal it. I didn't know that the notary we utilized was stolen. I didn't. I did not know at all. That was no malicious intent.
Nope, that is definitely not my signature.
We tracked down Stephanie Prather, the notary whose seal was stolen. So there's no possible way that you may have notarized this without review?
No, absolutely not.
Prather has testified under oath in Texas she did not notarize Desiree's paperwork. She tells us she attempted to testify in Louisiana, but says a Caddo Parish judge declined her testimony. In addition to the stolen stamp, Melissa Robinson staunchly denies ever signing the release of guardianship paperwork that Desiree presented in a Texas courtroom.
I didn't sign that paperwork. The signature is not even like my signature.
Al Miles, Jualissa's father, also says his signature was forged.
Both of us saying we didn't sign it. What am I sign my baby over to somebody for? All my rights? Do that make sense?
Whether it makes sense or not, on April 8, 2013, Dallas County, Texas Judge Tina Callahan signed off on Desiree's documents. 1 day later, Jualissa was removed from her Shreveport school and has never been back. Melissa says she has appeared before Judge Callahan many times attempting to present newly discovered evidence showing fraud. But each time court records show the judge deemed her not credible. There was a Child Protective Services case open in 2011 and 2013, but those cases were closed because there was nothing ever found to prove that Robinson was unfit to keep her children.
We have a child involved in this, and if it ultimately ends up being a situation of child custody versus a kidnapping, then that will come out. But At this point, what we do know is that there's a mother alleging that her child has been taken.
Among the hundreds of documents Robinson has on file in this case is a police report she filed with Shreveport PD in 2013, alleging her daughter was kidnapped. Still to this day, the Caddo Parish District Attorney's Office has never filed charges. Melissa's attorney, Joey Hendricks, calls this legal fight a miscarriage of justice that comes down to jurisdictional warfare.
We have a birth certificate. We know this child is hers. We know that this child was taken out of Caddo Parish schools and taken to Texas and then a custody order filed. And it's exactly what the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdictional Enforcement Act was passed for.
Hendricks says neither Louisiana or Texas will intervene with each other. Since Desiree's court order was signed in Texas, Judge Tina Callahan has jurisdiction. That's despite Melissa's documentation, Jualissa's birth certificate, school, and dental records, showing her daughter was born and lived in Louisiana all her life, until she was taken to Texas at 6 years old.
This baby is 9 years old, and minus them 13 months, I'm what she know as security.
We've reached out to Judge Callahan to ask her about her rulings in this controversial case. She declined our request for an interview, citing the case is still active.
I've been practicing law 28 years. I've never seen anything quite like this.
Sorry to confuse you.
For Jualissa's brother and sisters, it's heartbreaking. A fight they don't understand.
Stop crying.
I promise you I'm gonna get up there. That'd be the last thing I do.
While Melissa fights to get her daughter back, she is also fighting warrants in Texas for interfering with child custody. She tells me she's facing 2 years in jail for that. We have also learned the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office has launched a new investigation into the guardianship paperwork Desiree presented. With that new information, Melissa and her attorney filed an emergency custody order here in Louisiana, but were once again told to take it back to Texas.
My goodness, we're all confused here because it's been ping-ponging back between two states.
Exactly.
You would think that if the notary was forged or, stolen, that all of that documentation would be invalid and they would have to start all over.
It does seem like that, but as we showed you, there's been a lot of new evidence, and hopefully they're going to take that into account, and maybe we'll see where that's going to go from here.
What an upside down life it must be for this mom that she's
Absolutely.
living. All the paperwork in the world doesn't seem to make the difference yet, anyway. I know you'll follow this. Thank you, Troy.
Thanks, Troy.
Pleasure.